story is as American as apple pie, a tale that has been passed down through generations. Young George Washington, armed with his new hatchet, approaches his father's prized cherry tree with a sense of curiosity and determination. As the tale is usually told, we learn that George effectively chops down the tree. When his father discovers the damage and suspects his son, he calls him for a reckoning. "I cannot tell a lie, father," young George says, confessing to his transgression. And so American children have learned for generations that you shouldn't lie and should accept accountability. That stands as the model established by the first U.S. president. There remain some lingering doubts about whether any of Washington's successors, and especially recent ones, have sought to conform to that model. Today, we'll indulge in a fascinating analysis of this well-known legend crafted by Pastor Weems early in the 19th century. We'll discover that it might hold deeper psychological insights than even its creator realized. Let's explore this intriguing interpretation. Weems' tale depicts young George at just 6 years old, and I quote the pastor, unluckily trying the edge of his hatchet on his father's favorite cherry tree. The tree never recovered, and George famously admitted, "I cannot tell a lie." But what if there's more to this story than meets the eye? Enter Sigmund Freud, the founder of psychoanalysis. Although Freud never analyzed this legend, his theories might offer us a new perspective. Freud believed that childhood actions and desires often have deep, unconscious meanings. Let's consider the cherry tree. In our symbolic reading, George Washington's father's favorite cherry tree represents his father's phallus. The act of young George damaging the tree symbolizes an unconscious wish to castrate his father, a central concept in Freudian theory. But Weems doesn't say George chopped the tree. He says George, quote, tried the edge of his hatchet on the body of a beautiful young English cherry tree. This subtlety of expression that Freud would have immediately noticed suggests a dual symbolism. The tree stands in for the father's phallus, but is also a beautiful body, an object of desire that can bear fruit. In other words, George's mother. George was 6 years old when this event occurred, the culmination of what Freud identified as the phallic stage of development, which spans from ages 3 to 6. During this stage, children experience complex emotions and desires towards their parents. Freud analyzed Shakespeare's Hamlet similarly, interpreting it as a story with both political and psychoanalytical dimensions. The cherry tree legend aligns with Washington's future political journey, symbolizing his rebellion against another man named George, England's King George III. George Washington's symbolic aggression against his father's phallus prefigures his military campaign against the symbolic father, the King of England. This rebellion culminates in Washington's contesting and ultimately canceling the king's paternal authority over the American colonies and becoming himself the father of his country. So was Weems, the storyteller, unconsciously tapping into these deep psychological truths. While Freud famously said, "A cigar is sometimes just a cigar," in this case, there is good reason to think that a cherry tree might just be a powerful symbol of the father's phallus and the mother's body. Thanks for joining us on this thought-provoking journey through history and psychology.
Join the conversation at Fair Observer and subscribe to our YouTube channel.